Greetings and felicitations.
Okay, here comes the first round.
Boom. And
Jeez, that was just
boom.
unnecessary.
You kidding me? You can't be out of range? What? Greetings and felicitations, YouTube. You're all of the Appian Way here. You know what matchup I see happening time and time again? Well, let me tell you. Salamis versus Phthia. People love picking Salamis against Phthia just as much as people like picking Phthia against Salamis. This time, though, it was orchestrated. My opponent is Kopp, who I recently featured as an opponent in somebody's Dr. Appius, where he played Phthia against that player's Salamis, and I gave my remarks on, the Salamis player's gameplay. Well, he asked me, after saying great things about my channel, thank you, by the way, Kopp, he's watching this right now, apparently, he said, hey, why don't we do that matchup that was just in that Dr. Appius video? I'll play Phthia, you play Salamis, and we'll see what happens. And I said, you know what, that's a great idea, let's do that. So let's talk about his army first. He brought the larger army. I wasn't anticipating this. I actually thought that my army was going to be a little bit bigger than his, but it didn't turn out that way. He ended up bringing a pair of young spears, a centaur champion, and a savage centaur warrior that he's hiding in the tree line. He's got 4 heavy swordsmen, a pair of light swordsmen, 2 spear-fighting myrmidons, and Achilles himself is on foot, looking as beautiful and as golden as he ever is. We're playing on the Mudlands, so he did not bring any chariots, and neither did I. I did bring swift-footed Asciades as my Paragon unit choice, and then I went, just in case he brought a chariot, I brought 3 giants. I brought 2 armored giant spearmen and a giant champion. My thought here was, Phthia can bring chariots, Phthia can also bring centaurs. Let me just make sure I have the anti-large tools needed to win a cavalry or a chariot engagement, and I wasn't expecting to see both. I also brought for my main line 3 Salamis swordsmen supporting an Ajax's wall. These guys are big, beefy, and chatty. Just look at them. They're just lovely. Huge shields. Nothing but attitude. Right now they're moving really slowly because of the mud that they're in, but I deployed in the mud so I can get them across the mud quickly. Behind them are a pair of veteran Locrian slingers. There's an archer trickster hero on foot. Yes, that's right, archer trickster. I didn't bring him on a chariot. I needed to save the money. And if I'm going to have an archer hero on foot, he might as well be the trickster instead of the skirmisher. And then a pair of violent club warriors right here, which I have them hidden by virtue of the fact that they're not moving. This light club infantry costs only 500 funds, and I just really love these guys as utility. They're really useful if you still have them in the late game, and I wanted to kind of make it seem like I didn't have enough protection for my veteran Locrian slingers. So I deployed them very close to the front of my deployment zone and moved the rest of that army up so that I could start, shooting at him. I know I have the ranged advantage with my hero, so I'm going to go ahead and start baiting attacks out of him. He knows I'm in the tree line. He's seeing me move my forces over here. So I'm going to go ahead and let my giants get up here to support my my swift-footed Asciades, which is essentially a upgraded centaur champion. And here we go. I'm moving my forces up. He's moving his myrmidons with Achilles. I think that's a great plan. He's got his light swordsman out here. He's going to start moving his heavy swordsman into position. And soon what's going to happen here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start moving up this way. He's going to move his young spears in a counter direction. Here comes the first few javelin shots. I realized that my guys aren't actually angled right for this, so I stopped their maneuvering so I can turn them towards these javelins that I'm starting to eat. Here we go. I've now seen the young spears. I don't want swift-footed Asciades to face that, so I'm going to fall back that. He's going to use his centaur champions and centaur warriors and kind of skirt along the tree line before diving on in, but I've already got my giants here. And I'm gonna move out with swift-footed Asciades to sort of intercept this. As you can see here, he's looking for the easy hit on my veteran Locrian slingers very, very quickly into this game, and sure enough, even though I intended to use these guys to protect my slingers, I wasn't quick enough with it. So my Island Club Warriors, they've now revealed their positions. They're only now starting to get out here. I'm falling back with the Salamis Swordsman to engage the Centaur Champions. Centaur Champions in the mud. Their speed is reduced. Their melee attack is reduced. Their melee defense is reduced. And now they're fighting veteran Locrian Slingers, which are... They have plenty of stamina right now, so their melee stats are actually pretty good. And then I collapse in on them in other directions with Island Club Warriors, Salamis Swordsman, and here come the armored giant spearmen. And you better believe if there's a unit that the Centaur Champions never want to face, it's an armored giant spearman. Boom! Centaur Champions broken. More than half their health is gone, and a fourth of the unit, as far as models, is now missing. Swift-footed Ascites and the other Island Club Warriors engage the Savage Centaur Warriors. They're now getting beat, and they're going to get stuck up on my Armored Giant Spearmen while I order Swift-footed Ascites to chase those Centaur Champions. I left the Giant Champions behind to face the Young Spears, but now that there's Myrmidons coming, I need to fall back from here. Those Giant Champions racked up 109 kills on the Young Spears. Now, I want to kind of show off my positioning here. Let's watch this. This is hilarious. Look at that triple shot that I just murdered so many of my own Salamis Swordsmen with. God, that made me so mad. So I positioned my hero and my lines like this, alright? I have these two units forward, this unit slightly back, and this unit slightly back. What that has done for me is by putting my hero right here, I can shoot straight into the long side flanks of these heavy swordsmen, and this heavy swordsman and light swordsman, and earn a bunch of kills. And unfortunately for me, though, my triple shots are missing, and they're missing hilariously. I just murdered like 6 of my own Salamis swordsmen there with that shot. Meanwhile, the Savage Centaur Warriors are not giving up on my veteran Locrian Slingers, but I still have plenty of tools in the area to deal with them. And I think... Yeah, I think the Centaur Champions have been shattered straight out of the battlefield. So now all that's left for him is his Savage Centaur Warriors, and I still have a very healthy Swift-footed Ascites out here. My Giant Champions are getting beat up by spear-fighting Myrmidons. Not much I can do about that. That's a broken Savage Centaur Warrior. My hero is up to 31 kills, and my Slingers are now engaging over here to shoot at the Young Spears while I charge them. And look at this, my hero is just murdering my own Salamis Swordsman, even with his regular shots. Look at this! like aim to the left, buddy! The problem is like, the hero is actually, like, aiming at the edge of the unit. Here comes another triple shot. Let's see how this lands. It lands directly on top of my Salamis Swordsman. It's humiliating how badly my Archer Trickster hero is shooting here. And because of his bad shots, my Salamis Swordsman, they also got terrified by Achilles, but they soundly lost that fight. They're now routing. I need to intercept these spear-fighting Myrmidons, so I throw my Island Club Warriors and my 2 Armored Giant Spearmen in here. My Slingers are going to continue to fire into that. But now I can at least shoot this Heavy Swordsman without worrying about shooting my own men. So that's what my hero's up to now, and now he's actually getting decent numbers of kills. But Lord Almighty, that was not a good position to be in. Not at all. I used an Island Club Warrior to chase off this light swordsman, but now that it's free, I'm going to go ahead and bring it back here. He's wise to it, and he's going to try and challenge with the other light swordsman that he has. And the 2 of them will engage. I think my Island Club Warriors will do just fine. Meanwhile, out here, I'm now targeting the spear-fighting Myrmidons with my hero. He's now up to 66 kills. I've got an opportunity here, Swift-footed Ascites. That triple shot was, experimental for me, and it did a good job. It killed 4 Myrmidons. I wanted to see how that would target, considering the spear-fighting Myrmidons are actually caught between 2 engagements. They're stuck with the Armored Giant Spearmen and the veteran Locrian Slingers here. We're finally starting to lose, but look how badly hit the spear-fighting Myrmidons have been. Now, the other light swordsman came back, so I know I need to help bail out my Island Club Warriors. I charge in with Swift-footed Ascites. Huge numbers on the charge, and they wrap around. They get both units. They're going to break both units, and then I can send them off. I retreat them back the other direction so that I don't get any kind of pull-through effect, but they're both broken anyway. And then I'm going to go ahead and rear charge this Heavy Swordsman, save my Ajax's wall. I activate my Aerostea so I can get my cooldown back on my triple shot, and my triple shot just goes straight into the backs of my veteran Locrian Slingers. Never mind the spear-fighting Myrmidons. We're over here and not over there. It's just humiliating what my poor hero has done. Here goes another attempt at a triple shot, this time aiming for the heavy swordsman here, and it just goes straight into the backs of my veteran Locrian slingers again, triggering off another one. This time, really it should work, and it was a beautiful shot that time. That one really worked out for me. Okay, here comes my next triple shot, this time point blank with the heavy swordsman. And he just shoots it straight into the dirt. I think it bifurcated one of those heavy swordsmen into many tiny pieces. Here comes my next triple shot. It just goes straight through about 4 or 5 of the heavy swordsmen. I targeted the spear-fighting Myrmidons back there. Even though he's in melee, he's still continuing to shoot. And that routs that heavy swordsman. He's now up to 98 kills. At least 150 if you count all of my own troops that he's managed to murder in this fight. I don't know why. I didn't know why, when I was first watching this, why Achilles wasn't just dueling my hero, because I kept him very close to the fight. But now that I see that my archer trickster hero might have been a Phthia agent all along, it might explain why Achilles left my hero alone. Alright, so I'm trying to reposition my hero now, get him away from the fight, get him away from Achilles. Maybe shoot these heavy swordsmen in the back and not my own veteran Locrian slingers. Let's see how he does with this shot. And sure enough, it actually does kill at least one of my own veteran Locrian slingers. Now, let me talk about why this is happening, okay? I'm going to put this on slow motion. When an archer hero is targeting a unit, it likes to, for some reason, aim for the very edges of that unit, okay? So those shots are primarily being targeted here and here, okay? And it kind of alternates between the both. Now, because that very edge of the unit is actually forward, it's like up here because of that one red triangle, and over here it's about right there because of that red triangle. That's where the shots end up getting targeted. So I have another triple shot lined up here. I actually realize I'm charging in my club couriers, so I stop them at the last second before I fire off this shot because I realize there's a good chance that it's going to aim, you guessed it, right at the very edge of those heavy swordsmen. And let's see how many of my own men die from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my own die from that shot. Dude! Archer Trickster, why? Why? That one, yep, another friendly fire shot. I'm going to leave this this replay up there in the world. And yeah, there goes Achilles. He terrifies the veteran Locrian slingers, who are also already terrified by my own hero. I realize I need to start just shooting at Achilles already because there's no chance of me missing left or right and accidentally killing my own men. So I have him targeting Achilles right now. Swift-footed Cedes finally chased out of here with 164 kills. I'm proud of them anyway. They were mostly defeated by the spear-fighting Myrmidons, but I had to attack the Myrmidons because there weren't a lot of enemy targets left, and I knew I was going to have to deal the damage to them eventually anyway. So, proper accounting of the battlefield, you can see there are some regrouped heavy swordsmen out here. There's still this group of 4 spear-fighting Myrmidons fighting my 40 Ajax as well. And this Salamis swordsman is fighting 25 spear-fighting Myrmidons. There goes the Island Club Warriors. There goes the veteran Locrian Slingers. I do have an Armored Giant Spearman coming back. And there's still a heavy swordsman right here that's doing okay, but they're very tired, and they're in the mud, so you can see their stats, how poorly they're doing. 26 melee attack, 14 speed, only 43 armor. Achilles himself is doing just fine, but now he's had to get over here, and he's going to try and rout my Ajax's wall. His rival is enough to do just that, and the spear-fighting Myrmidons are going to get away this time before the Ajax's wall could finish him off. I'm going to go ahead and just throw my swift-footed Cedes right into the backs of the heavy swordsmen. They're not going to win this fight in the long term, but I wanted to cause as many casualties with swift-footed Cedes as I could, as much damage as possible. Look at their morale. It's actually starting to dip because of the fear effect of swift-footed Cedes. But they're still winning the fight. They might not rout that heavy swordsman. Not with Achilles running here, not with the other heavy swordsman. They broke them just as they shattered my swift-footed Cedes. Good news for me. I still have Armored Giant Spearman out here. My hero got engaged in melee with that heavy swordsman unit, but now he's defeated them, he's routed them, and I'm going to continue kind of trying to move him in a position where I can use him a bit more effectively at range, shooting the heavy swordsman. I have move orders for my Island Club Warriors to get out here and get in front of him, and then quickly disappear. Maybe he's not paying attention to it. My regroup veteran Locrian Slingers are going to go ahead and shoot up this heavy swordsman and hope that it doesn't come back. I'm just, I'm picking my targets here. and for the most part, trying to avoid Achilles. I gotta stay away from him. I'm moving Ajax's wall out of there. I activate Reckless Charge just for the extra move bonus. Use a Heavy Swordsman. I activate a triple shot with this because I realize I've got a good chance here. Boom, the shot's away, and it lands on one dude. One dude, because he had them in a thin line. But that one dude was enough for the rest of the Heavy Swordsman to say, nuh-uh. Well, actually, that and the Armored Giant Spearman, because they are a fear-causing unit. I get them close to Achilles, so I can use them to throw their javelins. I want to try and engage Achilles with as much range power as I possibly can. But then I realize what he's doing. He's actually running around my Island Club Warriors. I have to get my Archer Trickster out of there, because that's exactly what Achilles is trying to do. And look how little Achilles cared about the Island Club Warriors. Did not care. Now, my guy is exhausted. Achilles is just simply tired. So my hero is going to get caught here and caught into a Divine Challenge. This is not great for me. So I have to quickly replan how I'm going to deal with this. I still have my Veteran Look-Rune Slinger shooting that Heavy Swordsman. That Heavy Swordsman did regroup. I need to get my... I'm trying to... Actually, there it is. I order my Island Club Warriors to get away from this engagement so that it'll free up the line of sight for my Armored Giant Spearmen to use the rest of their javelins at Achilles here. Because I need every bit of help I can get. These guys get kind of caught up on it because they don't want to interrupt this epic duel. And as you can see, it just kind of awkwardly bounce in and around it. And my Giants, they're going to go ahead and eventually they're going to fire, but their shots are mostly obstructed. They did get a couple of quick javelins in there. I'm keeping everybody else back. I'm just hoping my hero will survive this just long enough, and maybe my javelins will continue pouring in. He activates Blood of Heracles. The Divine Challenge is now over, so I can actually get my hero out of there. But in the meantime, I'm trying to position everything just right. I'm trying to get my slingers out here so that they can spend their ammo on Achilles, throwing some more javelins at Achilles. I finally got my rest of my Island Club Warriors out of there. Here comes my last javelin. They only have one ammo left. Boom, it's all spent. Between my hero and those javelins, I managed to get Achilles down to half health, and since the ammo is done, I'm going to go ahead and try and move my hero out of there. I activate Cheat Hades for the extra speed boost, charge in with my Giants, and still my hero is getting caught up on Achilles because Achilles doesn't want to give up on him. That's when I realized I'm in a ton of trouble, because if he's smart, my opponent, if he's smart and he just continues to target my hero, I might lose this. Because Achilles is perfectly capable of killing that Archer Trickster hero, but could you imagine the morale hit? What that could do with me. If he activates a Terrify on the right unit and kills my Archer Trickster hero, I would be a dead man. And there goes the Terrify. He put it on the Armored Giant Spearman. Their morale is dipping very, very quickly, but he turns around to stop and engage and stay in here, finally giving my hero an opportunity to escape, and that is going to make it too much for Achilles to deal with because he chose to stop and fight the blob.
Was close enough to taste.
He conceded defeat right there. I think if he had continued chasing my hero, he possibly could have caught him, and he possibly could have killed him. And who knows? I still think I had a very solid chance of victory there, but I told him afterwards, I was like, I think he had about a 10% chance of victory. If Achilles could have killed the hero and then used the Terrify right after that on the right unit, he could have routed my entire army. I think it's possible. Possible. Unlikely, but possible. It was a very, very good game. One I had a ton of fun with anyway. Thank you, Kopp. GG. Let's go ahead and look at those kills. Here we go. 114 kills for my Trickster. I'm going to put, like I said, I'm going to put the replay up. I'm going to put the replay file up on the Discord. I want you guys, if anybody's willing and has the time, to go through that replay file and tell me exactly how many of my own men my Trickster killed. Because I'll be damned if it isn't 114. He went to town on my troops. I'm not happy about that. And I kept doing it anyway. I couldn't stop. I love this. 122 kills for this Island Club Warrior, helping me clean up the two light swordsmen. Very, very solid performance from them. 141 kills with this Salamis swordsman. Only 13 here, only 55 there. I'm pretty sure they got killed by my Trickster hero. 57 kills for Ajax's wall and an XP earned. Giants doing an okay job, especially the Giant Champions. They did earn their XP, but for the most part, they were only fighting Young Spears. Young Spears with only 2 giant kills. Still, that's 2 giants for those Young Spears. And then 97 and 26 heals for my veteran low green slingers, 176 for swift-footed Deities, 187 for the spear-fighting Myrmidon, 134 kills there, and 28 for his Savage Centaur Warriors, only 6 on his Centaur Champions, which I managed to rout off the battlefield with about half their health. Whew. Ta-ta, I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next video.